In 1983, two women, Susan Tice and Erin Gilmour, were sexually assaulted and murdered in their homes' apartments a few months apart and only a few kilometers from each other in Toronto. Two women were found in their own beds, in their own homes, which should have been places of sanctuary. For 40 years, their families waited, trapped in a marathon of grief, while the man responsible remained a ghost. In August 1983, Susan Tice, a vibrant 45-year-old therapist and mother of four, was starting a new chapter in Toronto. Just months later in December, 22-year-old Erin Gilmour, an aspiring fashion designer full of promise, was building her independence in a chic downtown apartment. They did not know each other, but their lives ended in the same horrifying manner, each discovered by a loved one after a failed plan. The initial investigations hit a wall. There were no clear connections, no obvious suspects, and the cases slowly turned cold under the weight of unanswered questions. A breakthrough came in 2000 when DNA evidence confirmed a single perpetrator was responsible for both acts. Yet a name remained elusive, the genetic profile, a code no one could crack. The trail was not just cold, it was genetically isolated, with the DNA pointing to a First Nations heritage that was underrepresented in all databases. The quest for answers stretched into decades, lived in the silent fear of the victims' families. Christian Tice, just 16 when her mother was taken, would sleep with a baseball bat by her bed, her front door's squeak serving as an alarm. Erin's mother, Anna, was described as never being the same again, talking about her daughter every single day until her own death. The perpetrator, meanwhile, moved north, living an unassuming life 1,000 kilometers away in the remote community of Moosonee. The stalemate was finally broken not by a witness, but by a revolutionary scientific technique, investigative genetic genealogy. In 2019, detectives turned to specialized labs using degraded crime scene DNA to build a family tree that pointed to 5 brothers. Through a meticulous process of elimination, they zeroed in on one man, George Sutherland. In November 2022, just one day after detectives finally collected his DNA, Sutherland did the unexpected. He sat down with his friend, a retired police officer, and confessed to the horrific acts he had committed nearly 40 years prior. He lived 4 decades with his secret, while 2 families lived 4 decades with a void. The system finally delivered a name, but it can never restore what was stolen in those quiet Toronto homes. If a breakthrough in the case had been legally possible over a decade earlier, did the system ultimately fail the victims' families? Share your perspective below.